I hate to say it since it's already been beaten to death, but according to WWE, Triple H, wrestling headlines, forums, and CM Punk himself, hell has frozen over, and CM Punk has returned back to WWE, or as he was paid to say, and I cringed when I saw it and heard, I'm home. Really, it's not a surprise to me because dude needed a job, and WWE likes clicks, likes views, so it made sense for both parties. His return, though, does it lead to what he's always wanted, a WrestleMania main event? Before we talk about that, make sure to like the video if you want to see CM Punk main event WrestleMania. Obviously, it wouldn't be an actual WrestleMania main event because it would be night one if he gets it. Night two is going to the greatest babyface of all time, Cody Rhodes, the actual star that CM Punk wishes he could be. All right, I'm going to tag my partner in now. Does CM Punk get his wish of a WrestleMania main event? And if he does, who would it be against?
Well, uh, you said something there I wanted to touch on. I believe if you main event night one, that counts as a WrestleMania main event. Because if you don't count it, then it takes away the two that Kevin Owens main evented. So I'm going to count it. And I think this year he should get the main event, but I think that for him to get the main event, it has to be against Seth Rollins. Anyone else, I don't think it makes it to the main event. So with that being said, my idea is for CM Punk versus Seth Rollins main event of night one WrestleMania. Because like you said, Cody deserves night two with Roman. So the way I kind of came up with an idea to get to WrestleMania Punk versus Seth, because right now I feel like it would be too early. Like I don't know if they could drag it out long enough to main event WrestleMania. So my idea would have been when Punk came back on Raw, his first night back, he comes out for his entrance, grabs the microphone, and even before he can say anything, Seth runs in, attacks him, and beats him down. And I'm talking like a vicious beatdown. Like I want like 5, 6, 7, 10 curb stomps. Like I want Punk on the shelf. And then I think if you do that and it keeps Punk from talking and the people don't get to hear him talk and see him, and you just put him on the shelf and then you let Seth get through Rumble and Elimination Chamber and defend his world title, and then this could also turn Seth full heel, and he could start calling himself our savior for saving us from CM Punk and having to see CM Punk. And then I wouldn't even hype it up or promote it or let anyone like keep this angle between Seth, Punk, and Triple H. Like the less people know, the better. And on just a random episode of Raw, because if you do something random like this on Raw, it makes it like must see TV and you don't know what's going to happen on the next episode of Raw. You don't want to miss it. But I would have Punk dressed as a fan, kind of in a hoodie or whatever, jump the rail and attack Seth and do the same thing, another vicious attack. So then they've each got one up on each other. They kind of each beat each other down, and then let that be the last time they touch before WrestleMania. And then you can get into your, shoot style promos against each other, but every time do a wall of security behind them. Like I remember when I was younger, going into Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis, Tyson was so crazy at the press conferences and, ended up attacking Lennox Lewis on stage and biting him and fighting everybody. And then it's such a cool image when they finally fought and they were in the ring, how there was a wall of security between them. And I think that could work here as these guys cut promos on each other. Let there be a wall of security, like we don't want them to fight and tear this place apart or hurt each other before WrestleMania. And then basically you can carry that on until night one of WrestleMania. And I feel like if you do Punk and Seth on night one for the world title, and then you do Cody and Roman on night two, that's potential for one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time, I think.
I like the way you book CM Punk and Seth Rollins. I think that is the way it's going to go down. Those two main event WrestleMania night one. I didn't like I didn't like CM Punk he looks like he's going to be a face going into this, and to me it makes no sense. But the way you book it, it would make sense for why Rollins would be the heel because he's not letting CM Punk speak to the fans.
Yeah.
What I wanted for CM Punk's return promo when he said 2 words, "I'm home," terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about. I thought he was Punk, and then he has a dollar price apparently. Really rock star Punk. He should have just said Seth Rollins. Like play into that work shoot type thing where Rollins has been talking shit about Punk forever, it seems like now. So like when you're like, oh, I'm in WWE and it's because I'm home. Okay, nice to know that everything you say you stand for is actually a lie. Instead, it should have been like, I'm here because Seth Rollins keeps calling my name. Like, let's figure it out. And I wish they would go that way because Punk and Hangman was such an amazing story of Punk being like, well, they didn't do it right. It should have been. Punk, again, wanted to be the face when he should have been the heel. The promos were awesome, blurring the lines. With Rollins and Punk, we can get that. Like he said, CM Punk's a cancer to the wrestling business, you could look at it as. And with Triple H, he's not Tony Khan. He would book it right where Seth Rollins goes over, where for some reason Tony Khan and CM Punk thought it was a good idea that the bad guy go over the homegrown talent of Hangman Page, where Seth Rollins is like, he's a company man through and through. Like, he's took his lumps for sticking up for WWE. Like, so the storyline is just perfect for CM Punk, a guy who doesn't really care about wrestling, doesn't give a shit about WWE. He's just looking for a payday, and Seth Rollins is like, hey, get the fuck out of here. Like, we don't want you. Most likely, though, they're going to go with Seth Rollins as the heel and CM Punk's the face because...
Which I feel like it works better because...
Rollins as the heel?
Yeah. Well, Rollins is he's a guy to me that's better as a heel. Like, whenever he's face, I feel like he falls flat. It's not good. It's not believable. And with his character now, I don't know if he's supposed to be a face or a heel. Where if you do kind of my idea or something similar, he's a full-blown heel. And that works better with the character he is now anyway, with the gaudy like outfits and the over the top and making people sing his theme song.
Yeah, if you're gonna go Seth Rollins heel, I think it has to be the way you booked it, where he beats the fuck out of CM Punk.
Him also saying he's our savior. Like, I did this for you guys, when clearly the majority of people were excited for Punk to come back, and he's like, no, you don't know what this is. But the way they're going now with Punk, you said Punk's like, I'm home, I miss wrestling, I love wrestling, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's like, Punk's going to come in and he's going to be this white meat, clean baby face, like, hey, I'm happy to be here, I love this is the best place in the world. If you do that and let him just be that, like, nice guy, overly nice guy, happy guy that everyone's going to hate eventually, and then you get to Mania with the two of them and Rollins beats him, then you could have Punk kick him in the dick afterwards. And then you go into Punk being like, I'm not this happy guy. I was just doing that playing nice, and then I lost, and now I'm back to being pissed off. So
the other thing I wanted to speak on about WrestleMania main event for CM Punk, I did see a rumor that maybe it could be CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn gets his world title win at a WrestleMania. I don't know if I see that happening. I think it's Rollins and Punk, right?
I'm not a big fan of like a triple threat fatal four-way type of match for a world title at WrestleMania. I feel like with WrestleMania it should just be two guys competing for the title. The only time I was happy with that was WrestleMania 22 when it was Ray, Orton, and Angle, because that actually kind of had a story where Ray won the Royal Rumble, but then he lost his chance to Randy Orton. So you kind of had two guys that had a right to the world title match. If you're just throwing guys in to throw guys in, I don't really like that. If you want Sami Zayn in the world title picture, let him earn that right somewhere else, or after WrestleMania, let him go for the title after that.
All right. So in the comments, let us know your views on CM Punk's return if it means he will get his WrestleMania main event, and if he does get a WrestleMania main event, who would it be against?